We are going to talk about who looks after you, managing emotions, and resetting for greater leadership capability. In just 35 minutes, Emma will share practical tips on how leaders can take care of themselves, manage their emotions, find calm amidst chaos, and make time to reset after a challenging day. Join her for a quick taste of what's possible on one key strategy to help you stay resilient, transparent, and in control. Emma Davis, she's the marketing director and founder of Insightful Retreats. As a founder of Insightful Retreats, Emma is passionate about reimagining how leaders take care of themselves. Having worked with major brands, she knows that impactful leadership isn't just about strategy. It's about self-awareness, resilience, and the relationships you foster throughout the organization. At Insightful Retreats, they blend robust leadership training with mindfulness activities such as yoga and sound baths. And that sounds amazing. It's not a tree hugging experience. It's a truly transformative development program for all leaders. Now, on a personal note, Emma is a proud mother to two wonderful grown up kids and has a super friendly cavapoo called Dally, who is likely to pop up on camera in the background of her talk. And I welcome that 100%. Emma, how are you?
I'm really good, Rob. How are you?
I'm fantastic. Tell now, is it Dally? Is that the name of the pup?
His name's Daly. He's actually named after a female football player called Rachel Daly.
Oh,
And the Lionesses, who are the English team at the moment, are currently competing in the Euros over here in Europe, and we're through to the semi-finals at the moment, so all looking good in that front. Yes, he's called Daly after her, and he's
oh, see,
very cheeky and very mischievous.
I'm in Toronto, so when I saw Dally, I didn't go. We spelled Daily Daily.
Yeah, we do as well. And Daly's actually a surname, so there's history there as well. My grandmother's maiden name was Daly, so there's a link there. It's an Irish surname, so you may see it as a surname. So
Oh,
that's
I
where
love
his
it.
name. Yeah.
I really hope this. My little one's sleeping. It's morning off right now, so she's maybe I'll bring her in just before we leave. So let's talk about the next 35 minutes, and it's all about emotions and resetting for greater leadership capabilities. I'm going to throw it over to you, Emma, and I'm looking forward to listening to you. And again, to our attendees, chime in anytime you like. I will keep an eye on the chat box and jump in and see if Emma has any questions or concerns for what you're looking for. Over to you, Emma.
Okay, perfect. No, okay, so hello everyone. Thank you for joining me. As Rob shared, I'm Emma, the founder and marketing director of a UK-based leadership development company called Insightful Retreats. Now, let me take you on a little journey. Picture this. You're sat on a plane. The cabin hums with a quiet anticipation as passengers settle in. Now, the flight attendants begins their safety briefing. And then comes that one line we've all heard countless times. In the event of an emergency, put your own oxygen mask on before helping others. It's a simple instruction, almost routine, but I think about it for a moment. It holds a profound truth. You can't pour from an empty cup, and you can't lift others up if you're running on empty. So today, I want to explore how this principle applies to leadership, especially in times of challenge. Leadership is often seen as a selfless service, serving your team, your organization, and even your family. But here's the paradox. To truly lead, to truly serve, you must first take care of yourself, and you must put on your own oxygen mask. My goal today is to inspire you to prioritize your well-being so you can lead with strength, clarity, and empathy. Today, we will explore three key areas. Why self-care is not selfish, but essential. How to manage your emotions to stay steady in the storm. And the importance of resetting and restoring your energy daily. Now, by the end of this talk, I hope you'll feel empowered to lead not just with resilience, but with a renewed sense of purpose and balance. So let's start with why self-care is not selfish, but essential. Your team depends on you to be present, focused, and steady. But if you're running on fumes, exhausted, stressed, overwhelmed, you can't show up as the leader they need. So, let me ask you, when was the last time you checked in with yourself? Not in a performance review or in a meeting, but in a quiet moment. When did you genuinely ask yourself, how am I really doing? Self-care isn't a luxury, it's maintenance. It's what keeps your light shining, and it doesn't have to be complicated. So I'd like to share a few ways you can incorporate self-care into your day. Let's start with a simple but effective tip, deep breathing. Now, breathing's something we do all the time, but consciously deep breathing has been shown to, 1, reduce stress and anxiety. It activates the parasympathetic nervous system, which calms the body and mind. It lowers blood pressure and heart rate. Slow, deliberate breathing triggers a relaxation response, improving cardiovascular health. It improves oxygen flow. It increases oxygen delivery to the body's organs, enhancing overall function. And finally, deep breathing actually enhances mental clarity because it reduces our stress hormones. It helps us focus and think more clearly. So ahead of your next meeting, I wonder what the difference would make if you took a moment to take 2 or 3 deep breaths. Notice what it does for your self. What does it do in terms of clarity and mental awareness? Deep breathing ahead of this talk hopefully helped calm my nerves a little bit, because it doesn't matter how experienced we are, we will all face nerves at some point. The next tip I'd like to share is about taking a walk outdoors. Now, this seems really simple, but also could be something you're sat there going, really? I don't have time to leave my desk, Emma, during the day. Gosh, that's a luxury indeed. But do you know what? Walking offers the following improvements for you. An improved mood. Walking outside, even in urban areas, for even a matter of 5 minutes can enhance your mood, reduce feelings of stress and anxiety. And if you're lucky enough to be able to get exposure to sunlight, not often in the UK, but if you are lucky enough to get that exposure to sunlight and fresh air, it contributes to these positive effects. It can enhance your physical health. Walking improves circulation, reduces muscle tension, and promotes overall well-being. And finally, it can enhance your creativity. Walking, especially outdoors, has been shown to boost creative thinking and problem solving. Now, like I said, you might be thinking, Emma, I really don't have time to leave my desk. There's so much we have to get done. So going outside for a walk, yeah, forget it. But how about this? If you have a one-to-one, whether that's in person with someone or on the phone, what stops you from taking that to a walking meeting? Grab the other person, go outside, or just walk in a space around your office. These walk and talks can be as beneficial, and in fact, because walking helps enhance creativity and problem solving, it could be a great way not only to stretch your legs, but to find the answer to that problem you and this other person have been wrestling with for a while. Another tip I'd like to share is about taking a proper lunch break. Now, I understand that working practices and legal requirements around the world vary, particularly between the UK, the US, and Canada. Now, in the UK, there are clear legal protections that encourage regular rest periods, whereas I understand in the US and Canada, practices can be a little bit more flexible and often depend on the company policy. However, where breaks are concerned, we also need to rely on self-discipline. So, if you wouldn't mind just going to the chat box, I'd like you to let me know, how disciplined are you? For those of you that have a structured lunch break, and I mean a proper lunch break, do you take it or do you multitask with a soggy sandwich in hand, carrying on working through that time? Oh, a couple of people saying no, they don't take their lunch break. The multitasking's coming through. What else do I have? Multitasking. Absolutely. I think we're all guilty of it, aren't we? We multitask. So, because I know I'm speaking to a group of financial people, I thought I'd bring some data to this talk. And I've got the data to back up why taking a proper lunch break, even 10 minutes, not multitasking, a proper dedicated lunch break away from your desk is beneficial. First of all, 78% of workers surveyed reported an improved productivity rate after their break. It can reduce stress and burnout. 40% of employees said lunch breaks help them manage stress, and 37% reported a reduction in their feeling of burnout. And lastly, we come back to that improved mental focus. 91% of employees surveyed felt their focus was better after a break. Now, many of you have put that you're multitasking. Now, the reason for that, the number one reason for not taking a lunch break is wanting to get our work done. But this is a bit like a woodcutter, not pausing to sharpen their saw. The continuous work means the saw gets blunt and the work is harder to do. So consider a lunch break as a mental break which sharpens your ability to focus and complete your work. It doesn't have to be longer than 10 minutes, but it does have to be away from your work. And it has to be something where you're consciously focusing not on what's going on and what you've got to do. And that focus could be on moving away, even taking that opportunity for the walk outside, and even catching some of those deep breaths. So in summary, for our first way of helping ourselves to put the oxygen mask on, there are 3 small acts of self-care: deep breathing, stepping outside for a walk, and taking a lunch break. These 3 small acts of self-care are like putting on your oxygen mask. They help you recharge so you can show up fully for your team. Prioritize yourself so you can serve people better. I also said at the start, I'd help you manage your emotions to stay steady in the storm. So keeping with the aeroplane theme, as a leader, there are many storms that we face. Deadlines, shifting priorities, and unexpected challenges can feel like turbulence on a flight, shaking us unexpectedly and making it hard to stay calm. And as leaders, we often feel the pressure to be the steady pilot for everyone else on board. But here's the truth: you're only human, and our feelings are only natural. The feeling perhaps of being overwhelmed doesn't mean you're not capable, it means you care. And the key is not to let the turbulence outside of the plane create chaos in the cockpit. Now that sounds easier said than done, I know. However, one powerful way to do this is to name your emotions. Just like a pilot checks their instruments to assess the situation, you can check in with yourself. Research has shown that simply labeling what you're feeling internally into that inner voice, whether it's frustration, anxiety, anger, or fear, can reduce its intensity. So the next time you can feel an emotion bubbling up or the weight of the storm, take a moment to pause and internally name it. Ask yourself, what am I feeling? Now you might hear back, I feel stressed, or I feel uncertain. But once you've named it, you're able to reframe it. Instead of thinking, I feel stressed and this is too much, you can reframe it. You could reframe it by saying, I feel stressed, this feels like it's too much, but because I've taken this step back, I can now navigate this one step at a time. It's not going to remove that emotion fully, but it gives you that opportunity to check in, pause, name the emotion, and reframe how you're feeling. Like a pilot adjusting the course through turbulence, you don't have to solve everything at once. You're not getting rid of all these emotions. What you're doing is focusing on how that small adjustment can create clarity for your next action and your response. Your steadiness, even in moments of turbulence, can create a ripple effect. When you manage your emotions, you set the tone for your team. You show them that it's okay to feel the bumps in the journey, but that it's also possible to move forward with clarity and purpose. So remember, the storm may shake the plane, but it's your calm presence in the cockpit that keeps everyone safe and on course. Name your emotions to reduce their power. Reframe the challenges one step at a time, and your steadiness will set the tone for others. And finally, I want to share a way to reset and restore your energy daily. Just like an aeroplane needs regular checks to stay airworthy, you need daily practices to recharge and prepare for the next journey. One simple but powerful habit is to end your day with intention, like a pilot completing a post-flight checklist. Now, I know for some of you, you're at the end of the days. For others, you're in the middle of your day. Whenever you do this checklist, it will still have the power to create the ability for you to have clarity going forward. So I'd like to ask you, if you are able to grab a piece of paper, that's fantastic. If not, it's something you can do following this session. But if you've got a piece of paper to hand, grab it now because we can do this together. You need a piece of paper because it's a kind of a scribbling activity that you need to write stuff down and move things around. So if you've got a piece of paper to hand, that's brilliant. If not, just follow what I'm doing online and you can see how the activity works. On the blank piece of paper, what I'd like you to do to start with is to draw two large circles side by side. Now, I'm also going to make this a little bit more interactive. So again, in the chat box, what I'd like you to do is, if you want, share with me a couple of things that maybe you've been thinking about that are concerning you today whilst you've been on this seminar. You know, those things that pop into your mind while you're trying to focus on that, this little voice tells you, you need to do this, you need to get this done, or they're just general concerns that are weighing on your mind. Maybe it's the weather. I know in the UK we've been having a heat wave, so we've been having lots of conversations, as we always do in Britain, about the weather. Maybe it's about the kids and what they're doing. Maybe it's something to do with your workload. If anybody would like to share something that's playing in their mind, pop it in the chat box. If not, and you've got your piece of paper, what I'd like you to do is start writing any of the things you've got that are weighing you down or you've been concerned with in the left-hand circle. Start to list everything that's on your mind. Don't filter your thoughts. Just keep asking yourself, what's concerning me right now? And write that down in the left-hand circle. Now, if you're doing this activity, what I'd like you to do is take a moment to look away from that piece of paper and not really think about what you've written. Now, we've done a little bit of a pre-activity here. We've added some detail into our circles. Some of the things we thought that might be on your mind, things like budget pressures, an upcoming audit, maybe we've got economic uncertainty might be in the mix there. And then we've gone really global with it, like, is there a pending war? What about mortgage rates? And my daughter's about to go to college. Is that going to impact me? These are all of the things that some of us might be feeling and more. So your circle might look different, have slightly different things in it. But once you've written them down, like I say, take a look away from the page for a few seconds. When you come back to that page, what I want you to do is really look at what you've written down and ask yourself, what in this circle do I have any influence or control over? Like, really, what can I influence or control? Like, straight away, I'm looking at my left-hand circle there, and pending war, not in my role do I have much influence or control over, but obviously it's going to concern me and worry me because it'll have a knock-on impact, obviously. But it's not something I can genuinely have any influence or control over. So what I want to do is take anything that I can influence and control and move it over into the right-hand box. Circle. And as I do this, I cross it out into the left-hand circle. So we've moved over team morale. We moved over upcoming audits, performance reviews, because as a manager, I am in control of the performance reviews of my teams, and budget pressures. I've moved those all over into things that I have some influence and control over, and removed them by either crossing them out or rubbing them out if you use pencil on the left-hand circle. Once you've done this, you now have two circles. The left-hand circle is your circle of concern, and you will always have ongoing concerns. But the right-hand circle becomes your circle of control. And these are the things that you absolutely have influence and control over. And by doing this exercise, you offload the unnecessarily mental baggage and focus your energy on what you truly matters and what you have control over. For example, I can see someone wrote how hot it is. It's a topic in the UK a lot, like I said before. You know how hot it is? It's a concern. Can I control it? Yeah, you could argue, well, I could recycle more, I could be more environmentally friendly. But in the grand scheme of it right now, what can I do to control the heat? I could invest in an air conditioning unit if I needed that. Or I need to look at it differently and say, I can't control how hot it is. So I need to keep that in my self-concern and just focus on what I can control. Doing this is like ensuring your plane is light and ready for takeoff tomorrow, freeing you from the weight of what you can't control. Remember, leadership is a long-haul flight, not a short trip. Taking time to reset and restore your energy ensures your plane remains in top condition, not just for today, but for every journey ahead. And as I begin to wrap up, let me bring you back to that oxygen mask and the role of the pilot. Both remind us of a simple but profound truth. To lead others, you must first take care of yourself. When you prioritize your well-being, you're not just navigating the turbulence, you're becoming the steady pilot in the storm. You're showing your team what it means to lead with empathy, strength, and clarity. And when the skies are rough, you're there being the strong leader they need. So I leave you with this question. What's the one small step you can take from today to put your own oxygen mask on? Maybe it's a moment of self-care, a pause to name your emotions, or an intentional reset at the end of the day. Whatever it is, know that it matters. Now, I thought some of you may already have some self-care tips that you do already, something you'd like to share. So again, in the chat box, if there's anything you'd want to add that you could share with your fellow seminar attendees, please take a moment now to add it to the chat box. Self-care is not selfish, but essential. So things like deep breathing, taking a walk outside, and having a regular break are important. Managing your emotions by naming them and reframing them enables you to steady the cockpit when you're going through emotional turbulence. And finally, our circles of concern and control keep us able to reset and restore for our energy. I'm seeing a couple of ideas come through, things like making lists, absolutely. And what's great about making a list is you can actually then apply it to your circle of concern and control, because sometimes we write things on that list that we actually don't have control over, or worse, we employ someone else to do, but we've just held on to it as a task. That could be an opportunity to recheck, am I delegating correctly? Definitely make a list of all of the positives for every concern. Yeah, definitely. Take those concerns and flip them, reframe them. We've got someone who does, my self-care is exercise, walking and running clears my head and gives me thinking time. Fantastic. It absolutely does. And I try to keep my day structured as much as possible. That can be a really key way. If you keep that structure in place, it enables you to steady that journey as you go along. So in essence, nothing I've shared today is rocket science, is it? I mean, going for a walk, breathing, having lunch, nothing is rocket science. But the biggest barrier to implementing anything I have and looking after yourself is you. So as I leave you, what I want you to remember is it's important you put your own oxygen mask on first before leading others. Remember, your calm and steady presence has the power to guide others through even the most challenging of work situations. If you want to know more about what we do, there's a QR code on the screen. But I hope that you found this useful. Even just a moment to reflect and consider what you can do to make sure you are looking after yourself is important. Take the opportunity and don't make yourself the barrier. Thank you very much.
Emma, I love this. I wish we had more time with you. I, I'm getting married in less than 4 weeks, and boy, could I use some help.
Oh, well, there you go. Deep breathing, definitely. Deep
Deep breathing,
breathing.
and I like to bike, but I really liked how you brought in aviation into this because a lot of it is, your first example of, put the mask on first. You're first, get that done, then you can help others. So on that note, let me ask you this question. What do you think a pilot's favorite flavor of chip is?
Oh, are you talking crisps?
Yes,
As in
crisp.
chips? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh
What
gosh,
do
that's
you
a
think? Sorry,
oh
that's right. What do you
God.
think
Yeah,
a pilot's
yeah.
favorite flavor of crisp is?
Oh, chip in it. Gosh, what would you say? I'd say probably not cheese and onion. That wouldn't go down very well in the cockpit, would it?
Well, I'd have to say plain.
Oh, brilliant.
You can use that.
Thank you very much. I
So,
will.
Emma, again, thank you for your time. You did say there's a QR code for people to get in touch with you. Do you
Yes.
travel? Do you put seminars on elsewhere or?
Yeah, we are global. So we've done work over in Texas. We've also worked over in Australia. We do a lot of online seminars and development as well. So, we can do whatever people need.
Well, I appreciate you very much. Again, I wish we had more time with you. I'm sure we're going to see you again, maybe at one of our conferences, but I'm rooting for you to come on back because I want to pick your brain more.
Oh, great. Thanks, Rob. I look forward to hearing more of your jokes in the
I got
future.
plenty of them.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Emma.